Best of all, it's free. You don't want to miss the excitement live, so grab your sunglasses, rally your crew, and join us at John Hunt Park Sand Volleyball Courts from November 7th to the 9th.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than zero down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Right now, Woody Anderson Ford has some strong $399 and $499 leases that come with zero down and 2 years of premium complimentary maintenance too. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month. Or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are zero down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. 36-month leases with zero down, first payment due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. These offers end 9/30/25. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
John Abraham here with Bobcat of Huntsville. Men, the season is upon us. This is what all the playbooks have prepared us for. But here, there's no need for a 3-4 defense because we're not talking about the football season. We're talking about the get-done season. Starting August 13th, Bobcat of Huntsville will have a full line of steel products for you to throw at those jobs you've been putting off until now. So put away those fantasy draft notes and pick up the tool you've been waiting for because it's time to get it done. Bobcat of Huntsville, run off of Highway 20 in Madison.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show. Powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now. 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's your host, Scott Theisen.
Good evening and welcome in once again to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. And folks, we have a developing situation right out of the gates tonight. It's going on over at Louis Cruz Stadium, and that is Columbia taking on East Lawrence. Columbia comes in with the nation's longest losing streak at 96 games. And right now, they are in the fourth quarter, and it is Columbia leading East Lawrence 24-20. Right now going on there up in Louis Cruz, inside Louis Cruz Stadium on the campus of Alabama A&M. Could this be the night that Columbia stops the losing streak? Columbia would lead 18-14 at the half. Early in the third quarter, they had an 83-yard touchdown run called back. Next play, fumble. East Lawrence recovers. East Lawrence would go up 20-18. A couple possessions later, Columbia breaks off a 53-yard touchdown run to take the lead back. And that is where we are right now, 24-20, Columbia leading in the fourth quarter. Tonight, We have only one region game going on, and that is in Class 7A Region 4. In fact, it's in the books. Albertville on the road at Grissom. Let's fill you in on this one, the story going into this game. Albertville looking for their first win in 33 tries. They entered the night with a 33-game losing streak. Their last win came at Boaz on August 26, 2022. Now, what about 7A Region 4 games? Albertville has not picked up a region win in 28 tries. Their last region win coming into tonight was September 16th, 2021, and it came at the hands of the Grissom Tigers. Tonight, Albertville stops all that streak. Albertville comes over to Wicks Family Field and hangs on and gets a 20-18 win tonight over the Grissom Tigers. There you go. One streak snapped. Could another streak get snapped tonight? We will hang on and find out. 256-576-4977. If you got a score tonight, if you are out at a game, we're at a game, feel free to give us a call tonight on the Scoreboard Show hotline. We'll reach out to coaches. We'll give you scores. We'll go inside the numbers. Tonight is a non-region night. So tonight we get a lot of rivalry games. Tonight marks the halfway point for pretty much all of our teams across North Alabama. It is hard to believe that we are at the halfway point. But I tell you what, the music you're hearing all season long, courtesy of Blue Thunder, the Lee High School Marching Band. Take a listen. Reggie Pearson and company providing the soundtrack for the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show hotline this season. We appreciate them for doing so. Let's roll into some of these scores that we have. Athens gets a win over Hazel Green tonight, 28-0. It's Fort Payne over Mortimer Jordan, 34-14. Spain Park over James Clemens, 28-7. We've got Boaz shutting out Geraldine 20-0. Coleman over Brewer 24-11. Lawrence County over Haleyville 41-12. It was Douglas over New Hope 41-7. Madison Academy stops Arab tonight 35-7. It was East Limestone over West Limestone 34-0. And it was Hatton getting a win tonight at home over Westminster Christian Academy 48-13, big non-region win. And let's go out to the Scoreboard Show hotline because the head coach of the Hatton Hornets, Nikita Stover, kind enough to join us right out of the gates tonight. Coach, this was your last non-region contest, your only non-region contest of the season. Congratulations on getting the win.
Appreciate that. Thank y'all for having me.
48 points against a guy you know very well, Westminster Christian Academy head coach Louis LeBlanc. You were at Alabama. He was a GA at the time at Alabama. Just talk about getting to face a familiar face tonight and what kind of worked.
Coach has always been a great guy. He always done a great job at Westminster. I've always looked at his program and what he's done, and it was just surreal just seeing a guy that coached me back at Alabama, and I'm actually coaching against him. So it was a fun feeling.
What kind of worked well for you tonight? The offense, defense it had to be phenomenal. You only give up 13 points. Offensively, you find 48 points tonight.
Yeah, we had it going in the passing game early, and then Savaris and Bud and Tayshaun started to roll in late as far as the run game. So everything clicked up for us.
Well, Coach, this is your only non-region game of the season. Obviously, you wanted to come in and leave feeling good because after this, It's my bad. You do have Russellville on the
We
schedule.
do have Russellville, yeah.
Yeah, but you got 4 non-region games after this one. You turn back to region play next week against West Limestone. What did you really want to try to accomplish tonight?
Just work. Like I said, working on our pass game and seeing how they looked. I think we threw for close to 300 yards tonight, and seeing Tayshaun come out and have a breakout game as far as the pass game goes. That was a good thing to see, and seeing our defense step up because we missed a lot of tackles last week, and we shared up a lot of those this week.
Well, it's now 3-2 on the season for the Hatton Hornets. You return next week to West Limestone. You got to go on the road, Coach. After having 2 straight home games, you got to go back on the road next week.
Oh, we've been on the road a lot, so getting back in the region, going. Actually, that'll be our furthest trip, so it'll be fun getting on the road. The guys love it, and we'll just look forward to it.
All right, well, congratulations on the win tonight. Best of luck next week getting back into region play on the road at West Limestone. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Nikita Stover, kind enough to join us right out of the gates. His Hatton Hornets victorious over Westminster Christian Academy as they throw for over 300 yards tonight in that win. All right, other scores tonight. Hoax Bluff over Glencoe, 49-21. Southside over Etowah, 21-10. We're keeping an eye also on the Sparkman and Mae Jemison game. Things getting very interesting out there in Harvest. Just under about 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Mae Jemison leading Sparkman 34-28. Again, keeping an eye on that ball game. We've got Asheville over Decatur Heritage, 41-17. Alexandria over Sardis, 51-13. Woodville knocks off Brindley Mountain tonight. Woodville goes on the road, gets a 36-18 win. Woodville now a perfect 4-0 all-time against Brindley Mountain. Sheffield all over Waterloo tonight, 46-18. Deschler over Colbert County, 57-16. Vinemont over West End, 28-0. Other scores, Pisgah, boy, oh boy. Pisgah looks good, and Pisgah came in tonight ranked number 6 in Class 2A. They were at home tonight taking on Randolph out of Class 4A, and Pisgah on top. They get the win tonight, 34-14 over Randolph. Whitesburg Christian Academy, 31-6 winners over Gadsden. And it is J.B. Pennington over Cleveland, 36-28. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go inside the numbers with the Pisgah Eagles, shall we, real fast. Again, Pisgah was at home tonight taking on Randolph. Adam Gilbert, first year there with Pisgah. They came into tonight. They dropped a tough one last week, 61-30 to Plainview, a non-region game. They're perfect in region play. Section Pleasant Valley wins on the schedule. Next week, it's back to region play as they take on Sandrock, and then it's on the road at Cedar Bluff, and then at home with Gaston. Joining us now on the Scoreboard Show hotline is the head coach of the Pisgah Eagles, Adam Gilbert. Coach, what? Well, I'm on the middle of the air. I can't really read a phone.
I texted you.
Okay. It's Dale Pruitt. Oh, okay, let's go out there. We got the Boaz. Let's shift attention. Let's go out. Let's talk a little Boaz Pirate football, shall we? Luke Pruitt on the phone tonight. The Boaz Pirates looked good tonight as well. They shut out Geraldine 20-0. Geraldine came in ranked number 4 in Class 3A. Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I'm proud of the way our guys played. We had a really good week coming into it. We knew the caliber of team that Geraldine was. We knew it was going to be physical. We challenged our guys about being physical and being able to stop the run and being able to run the ball. And, tonight we were able to do that. We punched one in right before halftime and went up 7-0, and we were able to score 2 in the third quarter there. One in the third and one late in the fourth. But proud of our defense for keeping them out of the end zone. They got in the red zone multiple times, and we were able to stone them. So proud of the way our guys played. It was a great team effort.
Yeah, you know when you're going to take on a Michael Davis-led Geraldine team, they're going to come in, they're going to be physical, and they've had a heck of a run so far. Your defense to shut out Geraldine tonight, somebody, I mean, who kind of stood out to you on that defensive side to get the shutout?
Well, it starts up front with our defensive linemen. We've got Jaden Durden, Maximus Rosario, Isaiah White, Noah Ford, trying to think, Mason Gaither, Dawson Road, and those guys did a really good job. Our linebackers, we got 2 seniors inside, and Braden Biddet and Drew Patel. We got Mac Thompson on the edge, and then in the back end, we did a good job. We got 2 seniors at corner, Levi Tucker and Demir Martinez, and our 2 safeties are Dayton Porter and Cooper Horton.
Yeah.
So, great job by our guys tonight. We brought Presley Fanta running back in to rush some, and he was able to get some sacks. But the whole first half, we were not able to get it in the end zone, but we played on their end of the field. Field position was really good. We kept them backed up and did a really good job. We were able to punch one in before half, right there under a minute to go, and then we were able to get 2 in the second half. But it was a hard-fought ball game. Coach Davis and them was going to make a run in 3A, and, it was like a playoff game for us in 5A. So we were proud to get out of there with a win.
I bet. And tonight, non-region contest for you. You go back into region play next week as you take on Sardis. Other than getting that win, what was some of the goals tonight there in this non-region game? Obviously to stay healthy, but what were some of the goals that you wanted to try to take away from tonight's game?
Last week it was we were in region with Douglas, and it was kind of a different deal because of their skilled guys. It was kind of out in space, and tonight we knew it was going to be between the tackles, and it was. And, the big deal was being able to run the football to set up the pass game, and that's what we did tonight. I think we were able to get on 3 touchdown passes, but we were able to run the ball enough to open up the pass game for us, and then we were able to stop the run, and that's something that we knew coming into the game we were going to have to do that, and we were able to.
All right, Coach Luke Pruitt, kind enough to join us. Boaz Pirate head coach. Boaz victorious tonight over Geraldine, 20-0. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, and best of luck next week getting back into region play.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We are just about up against that break there. There it is. When we come back, we're going to put the ball on the tee. We're going to put up 4 quarters. We're going to run it all down. You never know who's going to join us on the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Alabama! Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
This is Sports Center.
On game night, so we haven't even reached Saturday, and a top 10 team is going down in college football. Virginia in double overtime defeats number 8 Florida State 46-38. Chandler Morris, quarterback for the Cavaliers, 2 touchdown passes. He ran for 3 more. Tommy Castellanos threw a couple of interceptions, including one at the game that won it for Virginia. Chaos there, chaos in baseball as well, trying to figure going to have these last few playoff berths. The Boston Red Sox, they claimed one of the last playoff berths in the American League, walking off the Detroit Tigers 4-3 in Boston, meaning Houston's just a half game back now of Detroit. They're currently in action against Los Angeles. The Angels out in Los Angeles leading 3-1. Over in the National League, the Mets no longer have the final wild card spot. They lost to the Marlins in Miami 6-2. Reds beat the Brewers in Milwaukee 3-1. Cincinnati via tiebreaker currently holding that third and final wild card spot in the National League. In the WNBA, Las Vegas Aces now lead 2-1 in the best-of-5 series over the Fever after defeating Indiana 84-72. Minnesota back on top. They lead 63-61 in their best-of-5 series. Game 3 happening right now in Phoenix, just under a minute left in quarter number 3. The San Francisco 49ers getting good news today. Brock Purdy going to be back under center for them. He's missed the last 2 games because of a toe injury. For more stats and scores and analysis, always check out ESPN.com and the all-new ESPN app.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up Monday, we react to Micah's return to Dallas, Jackson Dart's first start for the Giants, and all the top Week 4 storylines in the NFL. That's Monday on The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show. Powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now. 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's your host, Scott Theisen.
Welcome in to the Week 5 edition of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show. State calls it Week 4. It's Week 5 for us. We've done this 5 weeks now. The halfway point of the season for several of our teams. Again, we mentioned we were keeping an eye on Columbia and East Lawrence. East Lawrence in victory formation. They're inside Louis Cruz Stadium. They are on top 28-24. It does appear that East Lawrence is going to leave town victorious tonight over the Columbia Eagles. So the losing streak will grow to 97 games. Columbia's had a couple chances this year to stop the streak, both at home, once against Huffman and then the other one tonight against East Lawrence, just not able to get it done are the Columbia Eagles. And first-year head coach, Sammy Coates. All right, some of the other scores from around the area. A game that you heard on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Madison Academy at home tonight taking on Arab 35-27. The Mustangs victorious. And their head coach, Bob Gotze, kind enough to join us on the Scoreboard Show hotline. And Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. And I'd imagine that first half was good. Second half, a lot to learn from.
Exactly. A lot of good things throughout the night. A lot of things that we can learn from. Obviously, it's good to be able to learn from a victory. So like I told our guys afterwards, we got so much we didn't finish it like we wanted to, but the good part of that was, we got it to that point, playing really well in all 3 phases, and just didn't close out like we wanted to. So we'll learn from that and get better. Very, 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 very proud of our guys.
Yeah, Coach, let's go back to the first half. Doesn't get much better than this when you can go 99 yards on a drive and end with a touchdown. You don't see 99-yard drives too often.
Not a whole lot. I mean, obviously the further you start from the goal line, the harder it is to come up with points. And once again, against a good defensive team as well. So we were able to put together some things, moving the ball around different people. Dana Scott had a big night. Charleston, of course, had a big night for us, which meant we had to be playing pretty well up front, even though we did lose our leader up there. and A.J. Seaton, who went down in the first quarter. So, that's a blow for us on both sides of the ball.
Do you hope to get him back?
It doesn't look like that'll happen right now. So we'll see. It looks like a tough injury and waiting on the final word. But, the early prognosis is not good. So hate that for AJ because he's worked so hard. A guy that has dropped, almost 50 pounds to become more active, become more a part of our team, to be a leader. He's dropped that weight, in a good way while gaining strength. And once again, I hate that for him individually because he had worked so hard, and he was, he was a big part of our team, a big part of our team. So just wish him the best.
A win tonight over Arab for you guys, and you knew coming in Arab was going to be. It was going to be another physical ball game. Got to be happy with the way your team responded as well, playing, back-to-back Madison County physical, Arab a physical contest.
Well, it was. It was a very physical contest. That's the way they like to play. They want to grind it out a little bit, and we were able to put together some drives and have some big plays early to kind of get that lead on them, because eventually they're going to grind you down, especially when you got guys going both ways and that type of thing. And, just once again, just so proud of the heart of our players, how hard they play. And we didn't finish it, like you said, like we wanted to, but we also made a bunch of plays, and we made enough plays to win. And that's what's most important.
Well, Coach, you turn your attention back to region play. You'll finish up now with 5 straight region games on the road next week at North Jackson.
It'll be a tough one, no question about it. I've been in this thing for a minute, and I've never known anyone that went to North Jackson and it was easy. It's just, that's the way they play. That's the way they roll. It's going to be a huge task for us. They've been off this week, got healed up. They'll be ready. But our guys will be as well. So it ought to be a great game. It'll be huge as far as the region standings go. At the same time, a lot of football left after that game.
All right. Madison Academy head coach Bob Godsey joining us on the Scoreboard Show hotline. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Best of luck next week at North Jackson. Thank you very much, Scott. All right. Good call there. Always getting a win for Bob Godsey there. You heard that game on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. All right, let's run down some more of these scores. Lawrence County 41-12 over Haleyville. Corners 17-7 over Jacksonville. Douglas over New Hope 41-7. DAR over Asbury 62-6. Plainview over Sylvania 34-7. East Limestone over West Limestone in the Battle of Limestones 34-0. Westminster Christian Academy Hatton 48-13. Hatton a winner there. Hoax Bluff over Glencoe 49-21. Southside over Etowah 21-10. Asheville over Decatur Heritage 41-17. Alexandria over Sardis 51-13. Woodville over Brindley Mountain 36-18. Sheffield over Waterloo 46-18. Deschler all over Colbert County 57-16. Vinemont shuts out West End 28-0. Pisgah over Randolph 34-14. Whitesburg Christian Academy and head coach Jared Adcock get a win tonight over Gaston 31-6. It's J.B. Pennington over Cleveland, 36-28. Hamilton over Sullivan, 55-6. Spring Garden over Cedar Bluff, 42-14. All right, we mentioned it earlier. We went inside the numbers for the Pisgah Eagles. And Pisgah, we mentioned that Randolph-Pisgah score. Pisgah started the night ranked number 6 in Class 2A. And they have been playing some fantastic football, and they are not afraid to go up against the bigger boys. Last week, they took on Plainview, lost 61-30. This week, they stayed in the Class 4A Region 8 realm. This time, though, they took on Randolph, and their head coach, Adam Gilbert, kind enough to join us tonight. Coach, not afraid to challenge your team, and big win tonight for you guys.
It was a good win for us. Yeah, I mean, when we made this schedule a couple of years ago, we knew that this, we had championship aspirations, and we made the schedule. Coach Pruitt and I worked on it together, and we said, look, if that's where you're going to be, you got to challenge yourself. And so yeah, I think 4 of our first 6 opponents, and then go back to the spring, 5 of the first 7 have been 4A or bigger, and but that's what you got to do sometimes. And our kids are mentally tough enough to handle it. And yes, tonight was a great challenge, and Randolph does a great job, but it was definitely a good victory for us.
Now, who kind of stood out to you tonight on both sides of the football?
Well, offensively, Cutter Mays, our quarterback, threw the ball well again. Landon Watkins, their number 1 receiver, had another big night. But, I think we protected well for the most part. Randolph brought a lot of pressure versus, and it's something we kind of challenged our kids on. And at the end of the game, we had 2 7+ minute drives, just kind of let the clock away. So it's always a big time to challenge your big guys up front. But defense, we made a switch this week to a stack, and it's just kind of a wholesale change for us. Felt like that's what we needed to do. We've graduated a lot of big kids over the last couple of years, so we're kind of small. So the Plainviews and the 5s kind of give us a fit. So I was very proud of our defense. A whole new scheme, kind of put something in, was kind of basic with it this week. But I thought, so it's hard to point out any one person. I thought we, just a whole schematic change, and we took to it well. And for the most part, played pretty good defense.
Well, Coach, it's another win for you, 34-14. Now you turn your attention back to region play tonight. Sometimes these non-region games, sometimes kids can kind of lose their focus a little bit, but tonight it looks like your team came out and was focused from the very beginning.
We preached starting fast. We've not done a great job of that this year, and definitely still jumped out 28-0. And which give hats off to Randolph. They never laid down. They kept fighting, kept playing. And, of course, they're a well-coached team, do things well. So that's what you expect out of them. But that was big for us, yes. Our kids getting their feelings hurt in the second half versus 5. And Plainview, was tied with 5 and down a score last week to Plainview. And then second half, we just get so tired and gassed. And, to challenge them this week, their feelings were hurt a little bit. And I thought they responded well all week long in practice and tonight as well.
Well, you turn your attention to Sandrock next week, back at home, part of back-to-back home games for you guys. Just talk about getting the challenge back into region play next week.
Well, I think, that's why you play this schedule. So when you get to region play, you feel like you're prepared. You push your kids, you challenge your kids. And again, it goes back to just the testament of our kids. They're mentally tough enough to handle that, knowing going up against, bigger schools and all that. But yeah, I don't, that's one thing I don't worry about our kids. They're mentally tough. They're mentally focused, and they know that each state presents its own challenge, and they always rise to it. Sandrock, Coach Nelson, first year coach there, not his first year coach, did a great job in previous stops. They're throwing it around everywhere. So that definitely presents a challenge, but that's why we scheduled Randolph and knowing that that's what they do and seeing different things. So, We'll enjoy it tonight, and it's tomorrow afternoon we'll get started working on them.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the win tonight, and best of luck next week getting back into region play.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right. There you go. All right, let's get our first break in here. Let's put to bed first quarter. When we come back, we'll get you to the second quarter of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than 0 down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Right now, Woody Anderson Ford has some strong $399 and $499 leases that come with 0 down and 2 years of premium complimentary maintenance too. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $4.99 a month. Or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $3.99 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $4.99 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $3.99 a month. And remember, these leases are zero down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. 36-month leases with zero down, first payment due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. These offers end 9/30/25. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware is your locally owned and operated hardware store. We're not just about numbers, we're about helping neighbors, because our Ace Hardware store is part of your community. We're committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop by and visit Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware today, 1536 Blunt Avenue in Guntersville. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
The AVCA Beach Volleyball Pairs National Championships are back in Huntsville this November. 64 of the nation's top pairs in collegiate beach volleyball are hitting the sand in a weekend packed with big serves, wild rallies, and high-flying action. It's fast, it's fun, and best of all, it's free. You don't want to miss the excitement live, so grab your sunglasses, rally your crew, and join us at John Hunt Park Sand Volleyball Courts from November 7th to the 9th.
This is David Lloyd, head coach of the Randolph Raiders, and you're listening to the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Now back to the scores.
Welcome back into the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. 1 quarter down, 3 to go tonight. Final just across the desk. Now, he said all games tonight except for one was a non-region game. Gadsden City holds on. They were up in this one. Bob Jones made a rally, but they come up short ultimately. 27-24, your final there. Rough night for the big Madison City School. Spain Park, who started the night ranked number 10 in Class 6A. They were at home tonight taking on James Clemens. And Spain Park gets a 28-7 win over James Clemens tonight. 256-576-4977 is the number you can call in if you were at a game tonight. Mae Jemison able to get the win tonight over Sparkman, we believe. That one should have gone final. We'll get hopefully Rico White will join the show here in a little bit. Adam Weingarten from Albertville High School, want to try to get him on. as Albertville, that was the only region game we had all night. Class 7A Region 4, Albertville over Grissom, 20-18. And we go to that game real fast. Trudy Arman was on that call over at Wicks Family Field, and he joins us for a quick update. And Drew, Albertville came in. They had lost 33 in a row, but they had also lost 28 Class 7A Region 4 games. Their last region win coming back in 2021, September 16th of 2021 to be exact, against Grissom. They stopped that bull streaks tonight at Wicks Family Field.
It wasn't a boring one, I can tell you that. It was 20-18. The Aggies get it done to end that 33-game losing streak, and their last win had been over the Boaz Pirates, August 26th of 2023, and really in the last since they went 7A in 2020, Scott, they, as you said, they've only won, that's only the second region win they've ever had. Yep. Both of them over Grissom, and then they've had 2 wins over Boaz. They haven't won many football games lately, but Adam Weingarten coming over. He had been on the support staff at Troy before that. He certainly got Auburn to the Super 7 state championship game, and then went to Tuscaloosa County, helped develop Kevin Riley, now the running back for Alabama. He'd also been at Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. He'd also been at a school in Georgia. He's been around, but he's trying to rebuild this Aggie program. They had a very close call in week 0 against Arab. I think it was 18-14. This time they get it done 20-18, and I just got to give a lot of credit to their kids for fighting. The MVP for me was their quarterback. He's only a sophomore. CJ Zaniga had an outstanding game, had 2 touchdown runs, a big 30-yard touchdown pass to give them a 20-12 lead to Talik Saint, and then Cooper Scott undercut an underthrown ball by Grissom that was trying to get it to C.J. Washington late to win the game. He picks it off, and they're able to almost run the clock out, but they were able to hold on and beat the Grissom Tigers 20-18. And again, they did a lot of spread option tonight and speed option, that gave Grissom some problems. Mm-hmm. They were able to run the football, and then they hit 2 or 3 big throws in the second half, including that one, the biggest of the game, to Talik Saint from 30 yards out. They gave them the lead and the cushion. But tonight, a lot of kicking game issues for the Grissom Tigers. They were no good on their first PAT, and then they went for 2 twice. Was no good on both of those, and then had a lot of issues snapping the football that really cost them some field position and got them behind the sticks. But you got to give Albertville a lot of credit and the way they attacked Grissom. Grissom definitely was the bigger football team, but defensively, Albertville flew to the football. They had some guys like Draven Hendricks, the linebacker. He's a senior. He did a nice job. Keegan Thompson, senior defensive end, called his name quite a bit. And then in the second half, Mason Froelich, another defensive lineman, made several plays. But, I mean, as you can imagine, just pandemonium on the Albertville side. You feel good for those kids. You feel bad for Preston Judah. This is the second time we've had them as part of our Huntsville City Schools Game of the Week presented by Woody Anderson Ford. They lose a heartbreaker to Huntsville after a late touchdown by the Crimson Panthers, 20-13. And then they lose this one 20-18 with the kicking game issues and not able to execute in the red zone late. And then, of course, on the 2-point conversions. But give all the credit to Albertville. They made the plays when they had to. They did a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage especially being undersized. They really played hard, and they flew to the football. And you got to give a lot of credit to Adam Weingarten and his staff. And I'll give a special shout-out. I know it was in a loss. It was a tough loss for the Grissom Tigers, but I'll give a credit to a senior, Kenyon Johnson. He had both the touchdowns for Grissom, had a big tackle for loss late, and was back on punt return trying to make a play to help Grissom win the game, but just wasn't good enough. And I give a game ball to the Albertville defense, and then the young quarterback, C.J. Zaniga and Talik Saint. Those guys made some plays and did a nice job of, along with running back Colin Parker, of running the football and doing just enough to find a way to win that 7A Region 4 contest tonight and improve to 1-5.
All right, Drudy Armand was on the call in Huntsville, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, the only region game of the night around the area. And Albertville now, you don't eliminate yourself from playoff. You still keep yourself in the mix for a playoff berth with the win tonight. Got a lot of work to do.
Bye week.
Got a lot of work to do still, yeah. But you
some excitement, some energy, though.
Yep, still keep yourself in the conversation, and you do give yourself a shot of adrenaline going into next week. All right, 256-576-4977. Let's run down some more scores for you that we have gotten in. We mentioned East Lawrence. They hold on tonight over Columbia, 28-24. It was Lawrence County over Haleyville, 41-12. Decatur over Lee, 35-12. Athens shuts out Hazel Green, 28-0. It was Corner over Jacksonville, 17-7. Douglas over New Hope, 41-7. Ardmore all over Madison County tonight, 41-20. It was DAR over Asbury, 62-6. Plainview over Sylvania, 34-7. East Limestone over West Limestone, 34-0. Hatton over Westminster Christian Academy, 48-13. It was Hoax Bluff over Glencoe, 49-21. Southside over Etowah, 21-20. Cherokee County over Shades Valley, 28-13. And Cherokee County came in tonight ranked number 4 in Class 4A. They get that win. It was Asheville over Decatur Heritage, 41-17. Anniston over Pleasant Grove, 41-13. It was Alexandria over Sardis, 51-13. We keep on going. Woodville over Brindley Mountain, 36-18. How about Woodville? A perfect 4-0 now all time against Brindley Mountain. We got Sheffield over Waterloo, 48-16. Falkville over Colbert Heights, 22-12. It was Clements over Tanner, 21-18. Deschler over Colbert County, 57-16. Let's go back out to the Scoreboard Show hotline. We mentioned the Douglas Eagles. They were winners tonight on a Friday night, a non-region night for Douglas. And we go out to the Scoreboard Show hotline as we welcome in the head coach of the Douglas Eagles, Brandon Lyles, kind enough to join us. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Yes, sir. We sure do appreciate you guys calling us, and just a great win for these kids to be able to bounce back from 2 tough losses the last 2 weeks against Scottsboro and Boaz. And I want to see how these kids would respond, and played a good New Hope team and was able to come out on top tonight.
Coach, who kind of stood out to you both on the offensive side and the defensive side? You hold New Hope to 7 points on the defensive side, and you find 41 of them offensively.
Yes, sir. It was a total team effort. Defensively, we had to fix some stuff. We'd given up too much on the back end the last 2 games, and we fixed some stuff over the week. I felt like made us better, and just let our kids just line up and play and not overthink the stuff. And they were really good on defense tonight. And offensively, we took care of the football, had some explosive plays. So again, it's a total team effort. I'm very proud of these kids.
This was a non-region game with New Hope, and you mentioned those tough losses, and those were no small teams. I mean, Scottsboro at one time ranked there, in Class 5A. You have Boaz, who's playing phenomenal football. So those are 2 really good football teams. Now you jump back into region play with Arab. What can a win do tonight? What can this win tonight do going forward?
Well, it's always easier to go back to work off of a win, that's for sure. And it's just another tough region opponent coming up with Arab. They're well coached, got some great players, and they come to us, and I know our kids will be focused and ready to play, and it's going to take everything we got to be able to compete with those guys. And I know our kids are excited and ready for the opportunity.
Well, like you said, it's always great to end a Friday night with a win. Congratulations on the win tonight, a 41-7 win over New Hope for the Douglas Eagles. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Best of luck next week getting back into region play with Arab.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and go Eagles.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, it's halftime here. We got 2 more quarters left of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware.
Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware is your locally owned and operated hardware store. We're not just about numbers, we're about helping neighbors, because our Ace Hardware store is part of your community. We're committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop by and visit Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware today, 1536 Blunt Avenue in Guntersville.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than 0 down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Right now, Woody Anderson Ford has some strong $399 and $499 leases that come with 0 down and 2 years of premium complimentary maintenance too. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month, or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are 0 down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. 36-month leases with 0 down, first payment due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. These offers end 9/30/25. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
John Abraham here for the parts department at Bobcat of Huntsville. Not only do these guys carry genuine OEM Bobcat parts, they also have a full line of Marshalltown concrete supplies. On top of that, they have a wide selection of arborist tools and supplies on hand for you tree guys. Bobcat of Huntsville also has a full service department, and don't forget the sales and rental guys too. Come on down and visit the all-new Bobcat of Huntsville location in Madison on Highway 20 next to the Redstone Harley-Davidson.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 256-208-9000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures, though, only climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. There is a chance for a couple of isolated showers through the course of the afternoon, but the vast majority of that activity should get out of here by the time we get to the evening. Should be a wonderful evening for Friday night football. Temperatures dropping into the lower 60s as we head into the overnight. The mostly sunny sky for your Saturday, climbing into the low 80s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Rich Dutton, head coach of the Grissom Tigers, and you're listening to North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show on 97.7 ESPN Zone. Now back to the scores.
Oh, I got to make sure something. Welcome back into the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. Big thank you to both of them for helping us make this show possible. We are halfway done, and we have had a fantastic show. Big thank you to all the coaches that have joined us so far. But like I said, we're only halfway through, so we still have to finish this one with a lot of momentum. It may be non-region week. We still have to bring the energy. Mae Jemison brought it tonight on the road, taking on the Sparkman Senators. Mae Jemison gets that win 34-27. Other scores from around the area tonight. It was Bob Jones falling to Gaston City. We mentioned this one, 27-24. Lawrence County, 41-12 over Haleyville. Spain Park over James Clemens, 28-7. East Limestone shuts out West Limestone, 34-0. Athens shuts out Hazel Green, 28-0. Coleman, 24-11 winners over Brewer tonight. Pisgah at home knocks off Randolph, 34-14. Albertville comes over to Wicks Family Field. They stop their 33-game losing streak. They get a win over Grissom, 20-18. East Lawrence and Columbia playing at Alabama A&M tonight inside Lewis Cruz Stadium. Columbia would lead this one at the half, 18-14. And they were up 18-14 when they had an 83-yard touchdown run called back because of a penalty. East Lawrence goes on to get a win tonight, 28-24. The story in this one, though, Columbia and the penalties. Another penalty-filled night for the Columbia Eagles. 17 penalties tonight for Columbia in the loss. Douglas, we just got done previewing recapping this one. 41-7 winners over New Hope. It's Woodville over Brindley Mountain, 36-18. Clements and head coach Brick Pugh, they get a 21-18 winner tonight over Tanner. DAR, big winners tonight over Asbury, 62-6. Ardmore over Madison County, 41-20. Asheville over Decatur Heritage Christian, 41-17. Madison Academy, 35-27 winners over Arab. That one could be costly, though, for the Mustangs, as center A.J. Seaton goes down with an injury. Mustangs back at it next week at North Jackson. Giles County gets a win tonight over Lincoln County. That's a Tennessee score. And it's Vinemont over West End, 28-0. But let's go back up a little bit. Mae Jemison, the Jaguars, they go on the road tonight to take on 7A Sparkman. And Mae Jemison pretty much in control of this one from the get-go, as they get a win tonight, 34-27. Their head coach, Rico White, kind enough to join us on the Scoreboard Show hotline. Coach, congratulations on this win.
Hey, thank you so much.
What kind of, you guys got off, now coaches always tell us all the time, hey, I want our team to get off to a fast start. That is key. You guys were able tonight to get off to a fast start against a Sparkman Senator squad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got off to a fast start, but I tell you what, we didn't finish strong. They came back roaring, so we just held on, and luckily enough, we came out with the victory.
What was working well for you during that fast start?
Well, the biggest thing, we wanted to run the ball, on establish the run, and really to control the clock. And it worked well for us the first half, and the second half we did pretty much the same. But they made some adjustment and came back. But other than that, the team played well.
Who kind of had some I know you haven't had a chance to watch the film yet, and a lot of it is what you see from the sidelines, but who kind of had some big nights for you?
If you ask me, I'm going to say my offensive line up front. They did a great job. They controlled the ball, helped us control the ball. We had some good running. The running backs ran well. We had 2 or 3 backs run well. But other than that, the offensive line and the defense played lights out.
Well, this win tonight, it's always better to come back to practice with a win. Now you turn your attention back to region play next week. You were on the road this week. You're on the road next week at Southside Gadsden. Back to region play next week. What can this win do for you guys down the stretch?
Well, this is how you want to go into back when you start back at region play. You know, just have that momentum going in our favor, and now the kids' mindset is right, and winning is possible. So I'm proud of the guys tonight, and we look forward to next week with Southside Guests.
All right, Rico White, head coach of the Mae Jemison Jaguars, kind enough to join us tonight on the Scoreboard Show hotline. And, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so much, and go Jags.
All right. They get a win tonight, and again, he just mentioned it. Next week at Southside Gaston. So what lies ahead for Mae Jemison after that? Well, on the 9th of October, they will host Decatur, and then they finish with back-to-back region games at Buckhorn and at Gadsden City. So right now, Mae Jemison, when they get back into region play, Mae Jemison is 2-1 right now in region play. They've got a win against Hazel Green. They've gotten a win against Lee Huntsville, and they were tripped up last week, 36-18 to Fort Payne. So that is that Class 6A Region 8. Buckhorn in there at 2-1. Fort Payne undefeated in region play. Gadsden City undefeated in region play. Gadsden City, remember, big win tonight over Bob Jones, 27-24. Mae Jemison 2-1 in region play. Southside 1-1. So next Friday night is a monster region game for both Southside and Mae Jemison. Jared Adcock, head coach of the Whitesburg Christian Academy Warriors, kind enough to send us hit text in 31-6. Whitesburg Christian Academy getting that win tonight. Congratulations, Coach Adcock and the Warriors for getting a win on a Friday night. Not a region contest there. Back to region play for the Whitesburg Christian Academy Warriors. Let's take a look. Always love going inside the numbers a little bit. Whitesburg Christian Academy next week back in region play. They'll host Holly Pond, and then they have a gauntlet. 10th of October, they have to travel to Fife, and then the 17th of October, they're going to welcome Geraldine. So that is a tough two-game stretch for Whitesburg Christian Academy after Holly Pond when you got to face two ranked teams in back-to-back weeks in Class 3A. You got 7th-ranked Fife and 4th-ranked Geraldine on the schedule that lies ahead. All right, Decatur Red Raiders, they were victorious tonight as well. They get a win 35-12 over the Lee Generals. If you look at the Decatur Red Raiders, you go inside their numbers. That's their first win of the season, but man, they've had opportunities this year. It is a team that is consistently trying to get better and growing each and every week. Tonight, they put it all together against the Lee Generals. Their head coach, John Ritter, kind enough to join us. Coach, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you, sir. It was much needed at a time right now for all of us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, I mean, you've had a gauntlet of a schedule, though. I mean, you look at who you've played, Buckhorn, Austin, Jasper, Muscle Shoals, who's ranked, Hartzell's ranked. I mean, you've challenged this team on a lot of it is because of the region, but you've challenged this team really with a lot of tough competition early.
Well, I'm not going to take credit for that schedule. It was made before I got here. With Buckhorn and, of course, Austin. And, Austin's a game that it's going to be played early regardless of whether it's a non-region or a region game. And then, of course, Musho's, Jasper, Hartsel, it was just luck of the draw when whoever made this schedule, pulled it out of a hat. And, this 6A Region 7 is a gauntlet. It's one of the toughest in the North and in any classification.
Well, Coach, you were able to put up 35 points tonight, the most you've been able to put up all season. What worked well for you tonight?
Well, we actually had 4 touchdowns called back, with some silly penalties, on our part. And, we were able to run the football, and that's one thing that's been lacking in the first 5 games is, just the efficiency to move the chains. And, I thought we played better up front. I thought Reed Robertson played extremely well. We ran the quarterback more tonight than we have in the first 5 weeks. Quaylen Hampton shook loose a couple times. And then, we've got two backs that we love, Devin Haley and Isaiah Allen, and both had some really strong runs. And, it was a total team effort. We played much better defensively. We were solid in the kicking game. And, just so proud of our kids. In today's day and time, losing stinks, especially in, the way that we have lost the last couple. But, these kids hung in here. They kept working. They kept fighting. And to see them come out victorious tonight, it does my heart good.
Well, it's back next week. It's back to region play as you welcome Columbia. And so a chance for you to build on this and put back-to-back wins in the column. Oh, it's going to be a Friday night. It's always going to be a challenge. Every game is. But it's a chance for you to stack wins, which is something you can do, and that creates a lot of momentum.
Absolutely. And one thing that we've talked is, even though the first 5 didn't go the way we want, being in a 6-team region, all of our goals are still in front of us. Every region game from here on out, Columbia, Coleman, and then Athens is a playoff game. We've got to focus like it's a playoff game. We got to prepare like it's a playoff game, and we've got to handle our business and be 1-0 each week. And if we do, all the things that we've talked about preseason with what we want to do to build this foundation of Decatur football back to what we want it to be is still right there in front of us. And so, Columbia, Coleman, Athens, whoever it is, it's the next game up, and we've got to do a really, really good job of focusing on us and being the best version of us that we can be. And, if we do that, then, you can go out there and you can compete and let the chips fall where they may, and you can feel good about the product that you put on the field. But that means handling our business and being grown-ups when it's easier to be silly Monday through Thursday.
All right, John Ritter, head coach of the Decatur Red Raiders, kind enough to join us. Coach, congratulations on the win, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you, sir. Go Raiders.
All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll finish up the fourth quarter of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Just in time for early fall adventures, what could be better than 0 down on a new Ford? That sounds good to me. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's football and camping season, and we've got a brand new Ford to take you there. Right now, Woody Anderson Ford has some strong $399 and $499 leases that come with 0 down and 2 years of premium complimentary maintenance too. Choose a 2025 STX Crew Cab with a 2.7-liter EcoBoost for just $499 a month, or choose its electric brother, the F-150 Lightning, just $399 a month. Woody Anderson Ford also has 25 Broncos, Explorers for $499 a month, and Bronco Sport and Escape for only $399 a month. And remember, these leases are 0 down, and they come with 2 years of complimentary maintenance. 36-month leases with 0 down, first payment due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax, tag, and title fees, and your good credit. These offers end 9/30/25. Now's the time for a Woody Anderson Ford. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware is your locally owned and operated hardware store. We're not just about numbers, we're about helping neighbors, because our Ace Hardware store is part of your community. We're committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop by and visit Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware today, 1536 Blunt Avenue in Guntersville.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
But you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The AVCA Beach Volleyball Pairs National Championships are back in Huntsville this November. 64 of the nation's top pairs in collegiate beach volleyball are hitting the sand in a weekend packed with big serves, wild rallies, and high-flying action. It's fast, it's fun, and best of all, it's free. You don't want to miss the excitement live, so grab your sunglasses, rally your crew, and join us at John Hunt Park Sand Volleyball Courts from November 7th to the 9th.
Tom Abraham here from my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high, but so is average consumer debt? Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit northalabamamortgage.com for more information.
This is Chris Hancock, the head coach of the Madison County Tigers, and you're listening to the North Alabama High School Football Scoreboard Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Now back to the scores.
Welcome back into the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. Oh, my goodness. What a night it has been for high school football all across North Alabama. It has been a fantastic night. Lawrence County over Haleyville, 41-12. Spain Park over James Clemens, 28-7. East Limestone over West Limestone, 34-0. Athens shuts out Hazel Green, 28-0. Coleman over Brewer, 24-11. Pisgah over Randolph, 34-14. One other score we want to make sure we get along is Gaston City and Bob Jones. And this was a heck of a matchup. Heck of a game. Gaston City making that trip over Madison City School Stadium. Bob Jones, Gaston City comes out. They would lead big at the break. Bob Jones tries to rally. They come up short, 27-24. Joining us now on the Scoreboard Show hotline from the Madison City Record, Mike Easterling, kind enough to join us. He was there on hand and has the little recap for us. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Doing good. And boy, tough 2 weeks for Bob Jones. They get tripped up last week at Florence. They come home, non-region game, and dig themselves in a hole, nearly dig themselves out of it, climb out of it, I should say, but a tough night for Bob Jones.
Bob Jones was at the 1 yard line on the last play of the game. The previous play was at the 2 yard line, and right as the kid was kicking the game-time field goal, I heard the whistles blowing because Gaston City was offside.
Oh, wow.
Which obviously kills the play. So they move it up a yard, and Bob Jones said, hey, we'll go for it. We'll go for the win right here. Gaston City blew up the play. But going back to the penalty, what this game lacked in artistry, there were at least, I think I counted 26 to 30 penalties. Not all of them were accepted, but I'm talking everything. There was a scoop and score, a pick six in the first half by Gaston City. After the scoop and score, Bob Jones returned a kickoff for a touchdown, which was their only touchdown in the first half. But then they got a spark in the second half. And I counted them out several times. And one thing about Kevin White's teams that I've always covered, they're resilient. And I thought they might fold after last week's dismal showing and then getting in that 29 hole in the first half. And that was far from the furthest from the truth. I think they did something and it's going to be positive as they resume their region schedule.
You would have to think this is the difference between a non-region game and a region game. If this was a region game, you'd have to imagine Kelvis probably kicks that field goal at the end. But being that it is a non-region game, you kind of have that liberty sometimes to take those chances.
Absolutely, Scott. In fact, when the kid hit it and everybody was celebrating, and I'd heard the whistle. I knew it was going to be a dead play. But, you move it from the 2 to the 1. Yeah, you're right. If it's a region game, you probably go ahead and kick. You're at home. Let's take our chances in overtime. But I tell you, it was what it lacked in artistry. Those kids were hitting each other. I appreciated the physical nature of the game. Sometimes it got a little too over the top. There were some personal fouls that weren't, I think it was just because, you get that much excitement going, and some of those kids can't help themselves. They need to. You can't afford that. But aside from the penalties, the game went 3 hours because of that. And usually a 3-hour game is a season opener when everybody's, trying to get acclimated, including the officials. But it didn't lack in intensity, and I think Bob Jones gained something coming out of there.
All right, Mike Easterling, kind enough to join us tonight, recapping Bob Jones, Gaston City for the Madison City Record. Mike, thanks so much for joining us. And Bob Jones back at it next week, hosting Sparkman, who's coming off a loss tonight to May Jemison.
Yeah, that really surprised me. I thought Sparkman would win that game, but this used to be before James Clemens was built. This was the rivalry in that on that side of the county. In time it may lessen, but still, right now, that's one that would get the pulses thumping a little bit going in, because that you can't just dismiss a rivalry because you get a new one. And Sparkman proved against Huntsville, in my opinion, that they're capable. Who knows? They're kids. It's high school, but I know it's always entertaining, and I saw one tonight.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll check in maybe with you next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, Scott.
All right, Mike Easterling, kind enough to join us as he was there at the Bob Jones Gaston City game, a game where Bob Jones went for it on the final play from the 1-yard line to try to win the game. They don't get it. Gaston City prevails 27-24. It's been a fantastic night for high school football. It's been a fantastic night. Make sure you stay with 97.7 ESPN The Zone. You can check 977ESPN.com for a full rundown of all the scores from tonight's action. Make sure you download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app as well, as you've got scores galore for you throughout the week. Make sure you join us back here next week, as we will jump back into region play. We'll go through all the region standings next week, and we'll let you know some of the scoring leaders throughout the state, because it's starting to get real. This is the halfway point of the season. After this, several teams only have 3 or 4 region games left. There's the horn. We are done with our Week 5 edition of the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show. Many thanks to all the coaches and everybody that had a hand in tonight's show. We'll be back next week for the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Guntersville Ace Hardware. Stay safe.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.